I present to you the newest chapter of Dragon Ball Shippuden. Let's begin. So this takes place after a month of Goku being coerced by Tsunade to basically stay put and stay in jail until all the ninja nations figure out what to do with something like Goku. So at this point in time, he's already been courted by Toby as a friendly ally that comes and goes from his cell at will. Obviously, Toby is not the friendly ally that Goku is hoping for, but Goku doesn't know that, and Toby, at this point, I don't even think that Toby really would want to mess with someone like Goku, but he realizes that Goku can be manipulated. He is actually quite innocent, and he's actually quite gullible to anything that you say, and he can be persuaded to do anything due to his curiosity and his fighting intrigue. So after a month of Goku being in what essentially sums up to solitary confinement because he was stuck in jail waiting for Tsunade to come up with a plan, he decides enough is enough. And this is probably the most believable aspect of Goku in this manga, and this whole manga is absolutely brilliant, absolutely believable. Huge shout out to Huckbo for creating Dragon Ball Shippuden, my favorite Dragon Ball fan manga, and continuing it and continuing their arc career all these years later. I'm gonna leave a link to their Twitter account in the description below in the top comment, as well as the Patreon if you'd like to support Dragon Ball Shippuden. That's where you're gonna go. Goku goes to plan B and literally just says Toby's name for Toby to appear right there. Toby was not there at all, meaning that Toby is keeping such a watchful eye on Goku that he can appear at a moment's notice just by Goku saying his name. And so Goku tells Toby that he's ready for his secret plan, and I'm sure that this plan is literally just for Goku to leave confinement and to not be in jail anymore. I don't think it's going to be anything sinister. I don't think it's going to be anything that is diabolical, because this manga has kept such a sense of reality when it comes to Dragon Ball characters and Naruto characters interacting with each other that Goku would not go to the dark side, because he would probably feel like, you know, Toby is not really on the up and up 110%. And so Toby reacts with probably like the most Toby way of reacting to Goku and trying to keep up this charade, and kind of like this clueless nature of Toby. This actually may be realistically kind of blocking Goku from feeling like sinisterness from Toby at all. And he may be thinking like, oh, Toby's kind of just similar to me, because Toby says, Goku, when a man tells another man, I am ready for your secret place, it can be misinterpreted. I mean, yeah, it absolutely can. And he says, I feel like telling you, sorry pal, you are not my type. Obviously this goes over Goku's head. Goku's not really understanding that. I mean, he doesn't really understand even like romance or anything like that, so he would definitely not understand this joke. But I think Toby's reaction kind of put Goku on ease that, you know, Toby's not really a bad guy, at least, or maybe he's not as bad as, you know, maybe he feels something from him. Maybe he does feel like a sense of this guy is not 100% good. But Goku doesn't really care about dabbling with people that are, you know, on the darker side of things, on the darker spectrum, because, I mean, he's best friends with Vegeta. So this is where we get to the crux of the plan, and what the plan is the dimensional altar. It's the altar, what I'm assuming is the Chinchuriki altar that Toby uses to remove the tailed beast away from their host. I'm thinking that's what it is. It could be something different, but I'm kind of like connecting to what Toby in this timeline, in this moment, would be doing. And he'd be trying to collect the tailed beast, but he's told Goku and convinced Goku that it is possible to send him home. But even Toby like kind of doubles back and is like trying to make Goku believe that Toby is, you know, a little bit surprised of Goku's answer, even though obviously this is what Toby wants. But he's like, he's asked him a lot of times to come back to his place, but Goku keeps saying like he wants to stay here. And Goku is like, the longer I stay here, the more problems I create. I bet you he's probably thinking of all the problems he's creating right now just by being in this world. Everybody wants him. Everybody wants his power. Everybody wants to meet him. And all the ninja nations could be going to war to get Goku. And so he wants to go with Toby's plan to go back to his own world, which is 100% what Goku would want to do. And it's probably a very heroic thing. Probably also a little bit selfishness here, where Goku just wants to go home or wants to get out of the cell because he's probably bored. Now, Toby tells Goku that he is the boss. Whatever he says, he's going to do. But whatever happens, and it seems like they've had several talks since the last chapter, where Toby kind of initially introduced himself to Goku. it looks like Toby's been kind of stopping by and talking to Goku and trying to convince him to leave, but he tells Goku, like, if you get caught outside of here, you don't know who I am, because at this point in time, Toby is still kind of working in the shadows. He doesn't want to be caught fully. He doesn't really want to be put in the spotlight, not yet, not until his plan is 100% revealed, basically. And Goku says, yeah, of course, let's go right now, and Goku escapes with Toby out of prison. And it looks like Toby has teleported Goku somewhere out deep in the forest, in the jungle, and this is bad news because Tsunade was really expecting and hoping that Goku would stay put, but now the Leaf and probably all Ninja Nation's greatest enemies have Goku. Goku basically is like a willing ally here because he's being friendly with these guys. He doesn't know who they are, but he's being friendly, and I think a huge part of that is the fact that Goku he's a literal god in this world, so there's really nothing for him to fear, and he doesn't believe that these people should be feared, basically. Like, he doesn't believe that his strength can be challenged here. And I'm sorry, this is probably one of the most foolproof Akatsuki plans that ever have been created. Like, this plan is so much better than just ripping the Jinchuriki away from their host and using that power like they did in Naruto. No, this is literally taking a Saiyan, a literal god, to these people and basically making him your friend and your willing puppet, because whatever Toby is saying here, basically Goku's doing. He tells him, hey, just stand right there and I'll cast a dimensional jutsu. Don't worry, we're gonna be all right. Like, don't worry, I'm a friend. Like, this is not really registering with Goku in the same way that it would register against somebody like Vegeta. And this is where I set you guys up, and Goku is here to knock the dominoes down because he says, Toby, wait, I know it's a trap. I know you're Akatsuki, and I know your friends are watching me right now. I mean, I think Goku really just wanted to get out of where he was at this point, and maybe he wanted to lure himself to the Akatsuki, the villains, the enemy of the people that basically had him held captive, and maybe there's some way that he can help them by taking the Akatsuki down. I mean, we're about to see like the next few chapters, because there's a few chapters that are brand new of Goku facing off against the Akatsuki. Is that what's going to happen right now? And Goku, surprisingly or unsurprisingly for a lot of you guys, I mean, I didn't catch this at all, and Goku, his demeanor, like, he switched from like Dragon Ball Super Goku to Dragon Ball Z Goku really quick, and he says that Tsunade told him how evil the Akatsuki are, and he would appreciate it if he could talk the rest of the Akatsuki, his comrades, into, you know, changing their ways, being good guys, or not being evil anymore, and that way they can avoid this conflict. And Toby switches up immediately. He's like, what is your point? And Goku says he wants them to surrender. He says that it is better to be on the just and good path as opposed to the evil path in the long run. I mean, it's not worked out so far for Toby because Goku has double crossed him, but at the exact same time, he's kind of like standing off against the most powerful being in this universe specifically, and probably our universe as well in Dragon Ball Z. So Toby really has no other options here. Goku makes his demands very, very clear. I feel like Toby probably should have changed his wardrobe a little bit because he looks exactly like Itachi and Kazame, two villains who attacked Goku and brought him into that world where he faced off in a different dimension against a female version of himself. So he says, here are my demands. Tell your friends to drop their weapons, to stop all evil activities, and surrender. Now the ball is in your court. So Goku is giving them options at least. He's not just going to kill them right now. Like, he's not just going into demon time where it's like, I heard you're strong. It's time for me to see how strong all of you guys really are all at once. No, he's trying to basically, you know, he knows how strong he is, so he's trying to save them basically. He's trying to make sure that they understand that they have no way out of this. Toby is a little taken aback here because he probably is trying to figure out what to say in this point. Because, I mean, he knows how strong Goku is, and he cannot fight him. The Akatsuki cannot fight him. The best thing he can do is trap him, which is exactly what he was trying to do. But then he decides, you know what, I'm going to come clean, and he says that I indeed am from the Akatsuki. And he says there's something from the way that you see the world that is illogical and has bothered me from the day that we met, and that is that Tsunade gave him one perspective of the world and he does not question it. Basically, it's the same thing that happened to us watching Naruto. We see the Naruto perspective of everything and we don't question it, as opposed to the characters of Naruto, like a character like Sasuke that did question it, and we see what happened with him at the end. And Goku just responds with, "She's my friend." And Toby says people can be deceived and be spreading misinformation. How do you know you're not being lied to right now? Like, you can be lied to very easily. Goku says, "I trust my friends," very, very plainly, meaning that the one or two interactions that he's had with Tsunade has cemented their friendship, as opposed to him being basically constantly talked to by Toby, who, you know, he doesn't regard as a friend at all. And again, Toby, without words, he just basically gives up. He's like, "You know what? Why do I even bother? Let's get back to business. I appreciate your offer, but I refuse. Deep down, we both know you're only here because you want to see what we've prepared for you," which is true. And I mean, he knows Goku enough to know that Goku wants a challenge. Goku literally powers up, which is enough to kill anybody really in this universe, and he says, "Remember, you asked for this." And for a second I thought like the artwork had him with a halo, and I was like, when did Goku die? But no, that's just part of the boom of him not transforming, but him blowing up in aura and powering up. Goku powers up, and just him powering up shatters the illusion around him. This I did not see coming at all. Like, so everything around him was an illusion to show that there is nothing there. It's all peaceful. There's an altar right here. No, he's deep in the woods and he's literally surrounded by AKATSUKI members, and he says as much. He says, "Nice to meet you guys, AKATSUKI members." It's like being this blatantly cocky to someone so strong is such a Goku move. Not only a Goku move against villains that are as powerful or more powerful than he is, like we've seen in the entirety of Dragon Ball. That's why Goku is a top tier OC, but this is Goku against people that are weaker than him, and he knows that. That's why it's so satisfying, because these guys are so powerful in their own right in this universe, and Goku's kind of stepping all over their name. And I love seeing these interactions with the AKATSUKI members, because he is smarter than they all thought. I mean, he found out about the trick relatively quickly, and he shattered the genjutsu as well. But Pain says no, he's just on his guard. He's not really smarter, because if he was smart with his power and his speed, he would just kill every single person that's here right now relatively easily. But he's waiting for them. He's waiting for them to make the first move. And Kazama is just throwing shade on the genjutsu itself, but it isn't the genjutsu. It's the power that Goku holds to break something just with his sheer will alone. That's all it takes for Goku to crack something like this. Pain says that he does not want to make it something that they're fighting within a genjutsu. Someone as arrogant, as cocky as this guy, they need to teach him a lesson. They need to teach him a little pain. And so they're going to go with plan B, because plan A failed miserably, and he's sending in Deidara and Itachi, which, I mean, if you're trying to send in a message that, you know, genjutsu is not the way to go, I don't know if Itachi's the one to send in, but I mean, Deidara, he may have explosives that could actually, you know, rip some of Goku's clothing or something. So Itachi jumps up and does a Katan no Jutsu, or a Gokyan no Jutsu, which I'm assuming is probably just the same fireball but black, essentially. I'm thinking that's what it is, or maybe it could just be a fireball. But as you guys can see here in this lovely panel that Hokbo has created for us, yeah, Goku is literally whistling. He's unfazed because it's literally just fire, and I mean, you know, like, it's just fire, bro. But as he easily brushes it aside with some artwork here that's incorporating like the exclamation language around these attacks and these movements that could rival even Dragon Ball New Age, yeah, some spiders fall out of nowhere. I'm assuming out of the fire, and they are probably like massive explosive spiders, or these could be ants, I don't know. But Goku looks a little freaked out by them. But this is how Goku, I mean, this is how Goku's going to, you know, possibly get hurt here, is if he lowers his guard down enough, because right now he's facing off against ninja, which is not something he's really used to facing. So they can actually catch his blind spot and, you know, really catch him at odds here and get him off his footing relatively easily. The spiders surround Goku, and Deidara unleashes them to a massive explosion, something that would probably level city blocks, kill anybody in its path. And yet, yeah, Goku is a little bit disappointed here. He's like, at this level of type of explosion or just firepower, it's literally just smoke. It's not something that he is going to be taking too seriously. And then he feels someone behind him. And when Goku turns around, he sees himself in the Akatsuki cloak. And Goku's like, are you guys serious? Another genjutsu? That will not work on me anymore. And he powers up to shatter this genjutsu and, you know, destroy this fake Goku. I mean, I just love the fact that we're getting Goku in the Akatsuki cloak, because it's just like that one meme or that one artwork that was going on a few years back that had Goku in the same cloak. So we're actually getting it in manga form. The genjutsu does not shatter, and instead the Akatsuki Goku actually impacts the real Goku and punches him. So this can only mean one thing, and I am just so hyped for the next chapter, and that is that this Goku right here that we're seeing right now, that Goku is real. It is a Goku Akatsuki version, maybe from a different dimension, maybe created in reality, as long as the genjutsu holds up. And so the same level of strength as Goku, just more likely with ninjutsu, genjutsu, or taijutsu, something along those lines. And so it's the same trick that happened with the female Goku, which I'm hoping to see again, but this time we're getting just a different, a more ninja-like Goku version. We can now begin what we've all been waiting for, and that is Goku versus the Akatsuki. It was hinted at the very beginning of Dragon Ball Shippuden, and now it's finally come to reality. We're finally here, Goku versus the Akatsuki members, and we leave off where Goku is attacked by what looked like to him a genjutsu, a mirage. He tried to take it down, and that ended up hitting him in his blind spot, which is something that Goku does quite a lot. He ends up putting his guard down, and it's like random. It's not even just if it's somebody that's weaker than him or stronger than him. Normally he puts his guard down randomly in different situations, I guess. I don't know, it could be part of his training, I have no idea. Maybe he's training himself, but it's not good because he just got hit not by a clone or by an illusion. He got hit by both, basically. Itachi ended up using a genjutsu to make himself look just like Goku, because Goku, he knew Goku would think that this is an illusion or a mirage or whatever, and that would be the only way he could get close enough to him to strike him. But why did he want to strike him? And honestly, how did he know that Goku had his guard down? Well, more likely with Goku seeing the illusion, that's probably what prompted Itachi to be like, okay, I can get close enough to, you know, get him and hit him in the chest, because his guard is going to be down because he thinks it's just going to be an illusion. And why did Itachi want to hit him? It's because he sealed away most of his chakra or his ki, which means that chakra and ki seem to work very similarly in this shared universe. And this is not good for Goku, because if Goku got most of it locked away, I would imagine that he won't be able to go into maybe say a Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 3. But if he can't go into Super Saiyan just in general, he's just stuck with regular, which should be enough to fight against the Akatsuki members. But they're all going to be using ninjutsu and hacks abilities, so we'll see exactly how good Goku does. And this is exactly what Pain wants. Pain wants to overwhelm Goku's defenses and catch him off guard. He realizes that Goku is not used to facing off against ninja. He only faces off against, I guess, combatants that are gonna be fighting him one-on-one, not somebody that's gonna be very sneaky with their attacks. So he sends everybody, every member of Akatsuki, attack Goku at the same time. And this is when Goku is still reeling from the fact that his chakra, or most of his ki, is blocked off. So even though Itachi sealed away most of Goku's ki, yeah, Goku still has spare. A lot to spare, and Goku is already a god to these people. So even Pain realizes that, yeah, they might not be able to catch Goku if, you know, they're dealing with this level of speed, because Goku ends up being right behind him. And Goku's working like on overdrive here when it comes to battle prowess, strategy, and tactics, because he realizes really fast, which, I mean, Pain is the one giving the orders, so I mean, it shouldn't be something that you just ignore. Goku realizes that Pain is the brains to this operation, and before Pain can really do anything, because he's about to use some ninjutsu. Goku cuts this dude in half, literally in two. Just like Frieza, but you can tell right here just how strong even just Goku's hand is and his arm. At his just swiping his hand, he can cut somebody from this universe who I would assume, since they're like basically the same anatomy biologically, you know, besides the ninjutsu and stuff, they're the same biology as the humans on Earth. He could do this to anybody on Earth, so he just cuts him right in half. And he says the coldest line Goku has said in 2023, without the brain, the body can't work. It's like, who is this Goku? This is like demon time Goku. With Pain basically dead, and you can tell that's not a clone, at least from here, unless it's like a very intricate one, because you can see his spinal cord, which, I mean, like, that's pretty brutal right there. He tells everybody else to surrender. They have no chance. They can't defeat Goku one-on-one. But that's the thing about the ninja. That's the thing about the Akatsuki. They don't come at you bar for bar. They don't come at you trying to have a fair fight. They are literally ninja. They work in the shadows. They will do anything they can to subdue you with the least amount of effort possible, with the most hacks abilities that they have at their disposal. That's exactly what ends up happening as hands grab Goku's arm, and yeah, he's gonna find out here soon. And it looks like the rest of Pain has just ambushed Goku. And this is the technique when Naruto was fighting Pain. This is the one that locks away pieces of your soul. It's the exact same thing, very similar to what was being used against the Hokage. Yeah, it looks like that's exactly what's happening here. And Goku's spirit, it looks like it works the exact same way. Like, these ninjutsu are just as effective against somebody like Goku from his universe as they are against somebody from their own universe. So Goku is really exposed here because his soul is literally being ripped out of his body. And this is just so Goku right here. He literally grabs it. He's like, not so fast. You ain't taking my soul. And Deidara comes in trying to, you know, assist Pain. And we never really got to see all of the Akatsuki face off against anybody at the exact same time in Naruto. Not that I can remember. I don't think so. Because, I mean, all of them kind of died on their own in their own battles. So this is actually kind of a treat to see them all working in unison here. The explosion is big, and it's something that tears away the branch from the tree, the massive tree here, but it's not something that is really gonna hurt Goku. If anything, it should have distracted him enough for his soul to be ripped out of his body, is basically kind of what I'm thinking Deidara is trying to go for here, because he probably knows, besides the really big bomb that he used, what he used in the Sand Village with his fight against Gaara, if he doesn't use that, which even that may not have an opportunity or a capability to harm Goku, but that probably has the closest capability to harm Goku, so he has to use something like that. So right now he's just using this for distraction. So it looks like the sealing jutsu took Goku's arm only. So Goku was able to rip back his soul, which, I mean, that is impressive. That's probably something that couldn't happen just by sheer will in the Naruto universe. So that's something that's unique to Goku. But this creature eats Pain as well and kind of spits him right back out good as new, which is not something that I remember this thing having the capability to do. But Pain tells him, killing us will get you nowhere. Like, you can kill us a million times, we'll come back. And Pain specifically will come back. Pain, I mean, actually all of them will come back. They all came back at the end of the Ninja War and, you know, from the dead. So they have capabilities of bringing people back, just like in Dragon Ball. Pain asks Itachi what just happened, and Itachi says that Goku does not have chakra shielding on his arm anymore. And I assumed that that thing was taking away the soul, but maybe it took away the chakra or something. And I like this phrase, chakra shielding, because it's almost exactly what ends up happening when Goku like raises his guard and lowers his guard, that he can kind of let things bounce off of him, and he can do the exact opposite if he does lower his guard for a while. And so it's basically not looking good for Goku. He's gonna have to fight with one arm, because Itachi says it's now a soulless limb, as frail and weak, and he does that in quotations, weak, as ours, because even Itachi realizes that Goku is almost like an alien. Like, he's not really from this world. He's way stronger than anybody physically. And so now they've taken away that strength from his arm. his left arm of that. So plan B is going to continue business as usual here. Pain says that Kakatsu, Hidan, they got to run in here and take their swing at Goku, and Kazame needs to layer the entire field with a little bit of water. I'm assuming just kind of like, you know, in case to catch him off guard and let him slip or whatever. They're working in unison here. This is awesome to see, having Pain almost be like a general, because really see him really be just the commander of the rest of the Pains after he faces off against Naruto. He's not commanding like Itachi and the rest of them like this, so I like that we finally get to see that. The Akatsuki members take their orders without question and rush in for Goku. Goku still being fast enough to kind of evade whatever is coming after him and be able to strike right back. Like, there really isn't anything that they can really do right now. Specifically, they might have a trick up their sleeve. I know Hidan probably has something up his sleeve that he's going to use against Goku. So look at this interaction right here. So Kakuzu sends his arm trying to grab Goku, and of course Goku's going to dodge that shit. Like, it's not going fast enough to be able to grab Goku, and Goku is on full guard. Not like when Itachi got him earlier, which is awesome on Itachi's part, honestly. Like, they're doing Itachi 100% justice here in, like, not only how he trapped Goku in the previous chapters, but also how he understands that Goku, if Goku got out, Goku could kill everybody. Like, he understands how strong Goku is, and Goku is this strong. Goku kills him right there. Like, there's no way that he survives that. You know, I mean, he does have multiple hearts, but I mean, he should have at least killed a few of them here. Goku jumps out of the way just in the nick of time here, and he says to himself that he doesn't really know what they did to him, but he cannot power up anymore. So they took away basically half his ki. They probably did more than that, or maybe they took away the ability to power up into stronger versions of himself. So now he's kind of just stuck in base, which is you know, pretty equal playing field here, you know, with the rest of them. I'm hoping that we do see Super Saiyan 2 or Super Saiyan 1 or 3 even Goku in a little bit, but Goku's just excited about all this. He's like, yeah, this is kind of what I wanted to fight against, somebody of this caliber. Like, Goku needs to face off against all the Kage, because I think that fighting against like people of that caliber would be really interesting due to his strength. Even though he's really fast and strong, like, he still doesn't understand every ability and technique. So a lot of things are going to catch him off guard. Like these bugs from Deidara keep catching him off guard. Everywhere he goes, he sees them. And it's so funny because Deidara got to be like one of the weakest ones here. Like, you would think he'd be the strongest ones with his explosions, but like, absolutely not. Against someone like Goku, like, these blasts, you know, they're gonna tickle Goku. Like, look how big this blast is. I'll be surprised if more of his shirt is just ripped up a little bit. Like, the most he can do right now with these explosions is basically distraction and keeping Goku's eyes covered in the meantime. That way he can kind of pull the wool over his eyes and, you know, and jump in and have somebody else jump in that, you know, has more of an ability to do something against him. Oh my god, I forgot. Here I am trash talking Deidara, but the part of Goku that is basically just human now and susceptible to these attacks is his left arm, and it's gone. So that blast was enough to incinerate that arm, and he's just bleeding out of his arm. Like, it's completely covered. He's gonna have to do something more here, because now he's just lost an arm. But it looks like Pain is one step ahead of him, and he's got Kazame with the water that they had ended up putting around the ground. I'm sure something cool is about to happen. Oh, the water was to get the arm back. So the arm literally is just severed. It wasn't disintegrated, it was completely severed. And I like that Kakusa's here is like, oh man, even though I'm immortal, this guy could totally kill me. And both their personalities here are just so on par with the manga and the anime here that I absolutely love like these two interacting with each other. But it looks like what's gonna end up happening is that you're gonna be using the ability here from Dan to control Goku's body. But I'm wondering if this ninjutsu is gonna be able to control someone as powerful as Goku. Goku is really, really strong. So I mean, it's going to be torture. It should be some sort of torture on Hidan's body if he's going to be, you know, the one controlling him, and how long he's going to keep controlling him, because even Itachi was bleeding out of both his eyeballs just trying to keep him in genjutsu. So they're trying to test out how they can hurt him through his chakra shielding, because they're saying that his chakra shielding is the reason he's so powerful, which I guess that is true. That is true, but it's still just Goku being really, really powerful. And Hidan's like, they've been telling me for weeks not to kill this guy, but they never said anything about how much pain and suffering I can inflict on his body, which is exactly what's going to happen now. And so remember, this guy stabs himself. We'll see if that does anything to Goku. And unfortunately, that stab absolutely worked. I love the fact that Pain is just this mastermind. Look how awesome he is. He's like, as I thought. This is such an awesome manga, man. And the fact that the ninjutsu actually pulled off and worked, all of them worked in unison. They were able to take and remove a part of Goku, like his arm. Like, can you imagine, like, your job is to remove Goku's arm? Like, any anime team would be having a tough time, you know, against someone like Goku, but not the Akatsuki here. The Akatsuki removed the arm and they got the jutsu off, and now they're figuring out how much they can hurt Goku before, you know, they subdue him, basically, is what they're trying to do. Goku is now in a world of trouble. He has lost his arm, and now he's been stabbed in the stomach. He has literally been caught in Hidan's special ninjutsu. So what the hell is going to happen next? Because Goku is looking a little bit worse for wear, and I think he's realizing that, yeah, he may be a little bit over his head because he doesn't know anything about these people. He doesn't know anything about their techniques, and it looks like a lot of their ninjutsu work on him just fine. And I think Goku, just in this scene right here, is a little pissed off because he is a warrior. He is a combatant. He loves combat, warfare, and fighting. But he's now, like, facing off against a guy that literally hurts Goku by hurting himself. And he probably thinks like, man, what a little bae, you know? Like, I can't believe this guy would just hurt himself instead of just fight me one-on-one fairly. Like, come on, Goku. Nobody in this universe can fight you fairly one-on-one. Like, not even Madara, probably. And the fact that the Akatsuki are so tactful and so prepared, like, Hidan says, I'm gonna take out your legs now because that way I can prevent you from moving. And he goes in to stab his leg, and this would probably cripple Goku. I mean, he could still fly technically, and that's not something that, like, Hidan can stop, but he won't be able to run or move, which is something that, you know, they're probably thinking like it's probably their biggest thing. But before Hidan can do that, Goku punches him. Yeah, Hidan was not fast enough to stop Goku from rocking his shit, and he punches him with his one good arm, like the only arm that he has left. And Hidan goes flying. He should be dead right now, actually. He should be dead, but this actually may hurt Goku because Goku just punched him. And Hidan is still conscious even after he got punched. And he's like, why did he do that? Is he that stupid? And he slams into a tree and completely faints because, remember, any type of damage that befalls Hidan is gonna come back to Goku as well. So Goku, he felt that shit, and even Pain's a little bit surprised and sees that Hidan's completely unconscious and says plan B has failed. So they may have put everything on the fact that Hidan could literally stop Goku, maybe put him down or make him unconscious or whatever, and try to end him that way. So I'm curious if they have a plan C in place. What is going to be plan C? Pain the GOAT, he says it doesn't matter, even without Hidan, and I don't know if Hidan's actually dead or not. He may be dead, but they have more plans. They have 3 more plans, and these are effective. So the intel that Toby gave them on Goku, which Goku probably spilled the beans just so fluidly, you know, because he was just chilling with Toby for a while. At least I think it was a month or so that he was in there, and so they know all of Goku's moves. They know what he can do, what he's capable of, what kind of damage he can inflict. And he even says, like, it wasn't a complete failure because now Goku has an amputated arm, completely gone, which is kind of crazy to even think about. Goku with one arm, like he's got the Gohan experience right now, future Gohan, and he has a big hemorrhage from being stabbed in the stomach, so his organs are kind of probably hurting, his chest or his stomach area is probably hurting. And he also has to deal with the damage that he just inflicted on Hidan, although he probably didn't use that much damage on Hidan because Hidan's still alive, and so that wouldn't be enough damage to really hurt Goku, is kind of the way I'm thinking about it. He feels confident though. He feels like this is gonna be it. Like, he's gonna be done here in a little bit. Like, there's no way he can continue going like this. And Kazami's already talking his shit. He's like, we overestimated this guy. Like, he's literally just falling into all our plans. And like, what the hell's going on with him? Like, he's not very smart, because Goku doesn't care. Not only doesn't care, because in a normal fight on his universe, he just would not care about anything. You know, he wouldn't care about, you know, if he fell into a trap or whatever. Like, he's much more of a upfront fighter, but especially here where he's much stronger than everybody else, he's definitely not on his guard. But Pain's like, no, we gotta stay focused. He's not captured yet. We need to really focus on capturing him and not getting too full of ourselves. So he sends in Itachi and Kazame for the next plan. And Itachi uses Amaterasu, which, you know, he used it before, and this overwhelms Goku, like, all over him. But Goku, being as smart as he is, literally just rips off his shirt and throws it away. He's like, I'm not messing with this fire. And I think he realizes that the fire itself is not normal fire like Itachi did earlier. Like, he probably feels like this is not normal fire. And he probably is starting to realize, like, I can't underestimate these guys, because they have abilities that I don't have, and they have abilities I've never seen before. And Goku's like staring at the flames, and they're still burning. And this just shows that Goku really was kind of worried about the flames, because like, he's like, what the hell was that? Like, I don't get what that was. It's kind of gross seeing his arm like that too, like, he's a little bone. Ugh. But then Kazami comes in. I guess he slipped up, and the floor is still wet from earlier, and he puts Goku into a water prison. But this next plan is probably their most diabolical here, because he has trapped Goku, who's just kind of there, and then he says, here's a taste of Sasori's poison, and he poisons the bubble. The poison acts immediately, because it's going through all of Goku's open wounds, and Goku is knocked out. And Pain's like, it was easier than I thought. Against all of us, he had no chance. Apart from Hidan, we had no problems. Okay, yeah, but come on, put some respect on Hidan's name. He tried really hard. And he was how Goku got the hemorrhage in the first place. Kakuzu comes up and says that, so you can be knocked out, Hidan. This information is truly valuable. Pain's like, what is that supposed to mean? He's like, did I say something? I didn't say anything, which, I don't know. Their rivalry might go into a weird stage here, because like, Hidan and Kakuzu have a bit of rivalry with each other, even though they're partners, and Hidan always talks shit to Kakuzu, so Kakuzu might try to do something, but it looks like there is a situation going on, because Kazami's like, we have a situation. And so look how black the ball is with poison. Like, that ball entirely covered with poison. It looks like we're getting our first colored panels in Dragon Ball Shippuden. This is a big moment as we see the iconic yellow glow of ki coming from the poison water ball. And Itachi's like, what is this jutsu? And you hear the boom, 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 because it's coming. We know it's coming. And it looks like Goku is gathering chakra from the surroundings to damage the seal and basically break the seal that Itachi put on him earlier on, so that way it locked away all his chakra and his transformations. And they're asking, how is he doing that? He's doing that because motherfucking Goku, guys. He is the main character, the original MC. And now with the seal broken, we get our first color panel of Goku in Super Saiyan. First time ever happening. This is amazing. And Kazami's like, oh shit, and the explosion, boom, and Goku has finally gone into Super Saiyan. It looks like he needed to go into Super Saiyan against the AKATSUKI, so they definitely pushed them beyond the base power. And when people are asking, oh, Goku at base power, like Krillin could defeat like Pain or the AKATSUKI or whatever, like, you have to think about their plan, their organization, and some of their abilities. Like, these things are really hard to defeat normally, and so in base there is a limit. And now we see here, very believable, by the way, Dragon Ball Shippuden has always been believable with the fighting and the way it's portrayed as world. That's why it's so popular. But look at Goku here. Goku is Super Saiyan, and he's only got one arm. They took away one of his arms. That's how powerful the Akatsuki is against someone like Goku. Now, granted, what they're gonna do now, who the hell knows? But yeah, like this is such a great way and showcase of Goku versus Akatsuki. and how believable a Dragon Ball character dropping the Naruto world would be. So we get the reality of the situation here, and that is that even though Goku just went into Super Saiyan, and honestly, realistically, he could probably, like, with just a little bit of ki, destroy, you know, the surrounding area and nuke everybody, and that would be it, game over. But he says that his entire body is numb and standing is painful at this moment right now. Like, he's in a lot of hurt. He received way too much damage, and the people that he's fighting were 110% prepared to face him. And as everybody's watching, he does start to pass out, and then he's like, no, like, I can't lose consciousness. And remember, he does have poison in him now, so he is really damaged. And Goku decides, you know what, I'm gonna take away the forest, and that way when I start killing them one by one, they don't just start running off into the forest, because they are ninja, and now he's finally realizing how they work. Pain realizes immediately what Goku's about to do and says, everybody jump above my location. He's at the tallest point of trees, and Goku, you can tell, like, he's even losing blood. Like, his arm is not seared where he's not, you know, it's not cauterized where he's not losing blood. He's losing blood the entire time now. So he ends up using that ki blast to destroy the surrounding area, destroy the forest everywhere, and the Akatsuki, they just basically jumped up really high and then jumped right back down. Pain's Shinra Tensei technique blocked most of the debris, so it didn't hurt most of the Akatsuki members, but they still jumped up really high to get away from it. But he even says it himself, if he had aimed that at them, they would all have been disintegrated. I don't know why Goku did not aim it at them, but he probably should have to take them all out. And the situation is now really bad because they are exposed. They're all out into this barren wasteland, and he didn't want to destroy them with that because he was waiting for his signature. He's like, I'm going to destroy you with my signature. He said, my next attack will vaporize you. And he goes into a one-handed Kamehameha attack. Kazame is the only one here that has seen the Kamehameha, and he says that the jutsu will kill everybody here. What are the orders? Like, what are we doing? And Pain literally is in pain here. Like, he doesn't know what to do. He has nothing, you know, to face off against a Super Saiyan. And again, so much realism here that Pain is shocked as what he's seeing. Like, whatever attack Goku's gonna do will kill them all. And now they're realizing that Goku has his chakra shielding back. He's basically back to normal, and they don't know what to do. And as he's doing the Kamehameha, something happens, and he says, well played. What the fuck just happened? What happened? What's going on? And Goku coughs up a ton of blood, and blood shoots right out of his stomach, and he falls face forward. And Goku'S says, I am proud of you, Hidan. Today you have at least been useful, because he's the one that stabbed a already passed out Hidan, who still has the technique connection to Goku, and so he was still under his spell. And that's why he said that. He's like, oh, you can still, you know, you can be knocked out, and, you know, I can still use you when you're knocked out, basically. And so that's exactly what he did, and Goku falls down. Like, Goku, that's something that Goku wasn't prepared for, and that's why he said, well played, which I love that line from Goku. He knew when he got. Pain, a little bit with a sigh of relief, says, well done, Kakuzu. Because of everybody, congratulations, we all captured Goku. And Goku right here is completely knocked out and in pain, probably can't move at all, like, poisoned, everything under the sun, like he's completely done for. The Akatsuki have won, they have defeated Goku. Itachi is planning on betraying the Akatsuki right now. Remember, that was his role in Naruto. I'm glad they brought this storyline here, because around this time, that's when he's thinking about it. But if the Akatsuki get someone like Goku, like, he knows that there's going to be big trouble. That's when we get a huge explosion right behind Itachi. Get your filthy hands off of him. And we see the glowing image of, he is with me, Vegeta. How Vegeta got to this world is anybody's guess. I can't wait for the next chapter to come out. This is the ending of the first season of Dragon Ball Shippuden that has been years in the making. I don't know when we're going to get the other season, but here is a message from Hawkbo. Hello everyone, I'm Huckbo, the author of this fan manga. We've reached the end of the first arc, and completing this arc was one of my goals when I resumed working on this fan manga in early 2021. It's been almost 3 years. I'm thrilled that I've achieved it, and I hope you've enjoyed the ride. Going forward, Dragon Ball Shippuden will be on a hiatus for a while. However, please don't hesitate to follow me on Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on its status. You can find me at Huckbo. Thank you for your support. Thank you again, Huckbo, for such an amazing Dragon Ball fan manga. We got a great image here of Vegeta. I'm gonna leave a link to all his socials. And guys, this is the end of the story. For now, let me know what you guys thought of Dragon Ball Shippuden.
Subscribe for more content. Or perish.